Hello, and welcome to Bike Vids. My name is Greg, and this is episode 1. Thank you for watching. A couple disclaimers before I get started, given that it is the first time I've ever done this. One, it is literally the first time I've ever done this. Never made a video of myself, something sharing my ideas or anything like that. Two, I have pretty much zero cinematography, lighting experience, or anything like that that people often use to make their videos good. Three, what is three? Oh, yeah, I don't even really know how to upload a video to YouTube. I was just trying to record this on a GoPro that someone gave me. Couldn't really figure out what was going on with that. It kept stopping. I don't know. But I do know that I am passionate about bicycles. I love bicycles. Almost everything about bicycles that I can think of, the bicycling lifestyle, how bicycles can improve our communities and the world, really. And so I'm an avid cyclist for recreation, and yeah, I love it. So what I guess I lack maybe in technical skills about this process, hopefully I can compensate with my love of bikes. I decided to make a couple videos. I've thought about it for a long time. For those of you out there that are also passionate about cycling, maybe bike touring, and have experiences spending a lot of hours out riding your bike, you'll know that you just think of a lot of stuff out there. So I've been thinking for a while now about making some bike vids. I love watching bike vids, and yeah, I mean this is a big deal. It's all happening. So thank you for watching. Maybe at the end I could tell you a little bit more about myself. But now let's hop into episode 1. Episode 1 is a story, and it's about me cycling around Lake Tahoe. This is one of my favorite things in life, to go at least once a year to Lake Tahoe and ride the about 73 miles around the lake. I personally go clockwise around the lake. I like to stay in the South Lake Tahoe area. Spent a lot of time there as a kid. It's beautiful, and that's usually where I make my home base. But you can make your home base anywhere. And so it's a beautiful ride. It's great. Everyone should do it. So this story was about a few weeks ago when I was cycling around Lake Tahoe. When I had just come down from the kind of Emerald Bay area, there's a little bit of a climb up there to the Vikings home trailhead. You cycle down. It's very beautiful. This whole half, really, of the ride is my favorite part. And so I was getting near Tahoe City, and around Tahoe City, you may know that there's lots of paths. You could take a dedicated path from Tahoe City to up to the basically Truckee area. There's lots of dedicated paths, miles and miles and miles of dedicated paths there. And so, anywho, I was riding outside of Tahoe City. I was not on one of these dedicated paths, and just blissed out, just loving the experience. And a car passes by the opposite direction that I'm traveling and yells out to me, "Bike path, bike path." Now, keep in mind, I don't know this is what the person is yelling at me at the time. To me, it just kind of sounds like, "My bad," da-da, like the syllables, right? But hey, I'm, having a great day. I'm riding around the lake, and I'm thinking about it. Like, hey, what does the person, yell to me? They obviously were passionate about some kind of issue. To yell something at someone, whether they're on bike or any real mode of transportation, even just walking, when you're kind of going the opposite way, to yell something out at that point is like, obviously this is something I need to think of. So I don't know, maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes down the road, as I'm just loving my ride, looking around as I normally do, I think, Baba, Baba. And I look over and I see, of course, this bike path. And I think, oh, okay, what this person yelled at me, as previously stated, was bike path. And I think that they're telling me, hey, you should be on this bike path, not on the road you're on. Is that said out of an anger? I mean, if you are yelling at someone just out a car window going the opposite direction, not the best mode of communication? Or is it said, just, hey, they're trying to help me out. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. There's a bike path there. Don't know. We will never know. We'll never know. But either way, I'm excited. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to be negative. So I'm thinking about it. Why am I not on the bike path? I'm never on the bike path. I've been riding around the lake for many years, and I use the bike paths all the time. When I'm staying in South Lake Tahoe, I take the path to my favorite beach. When I stay in Tahoe City, I'm riding tons of miles on those paths. Why am I not on the bike path right now? And for me, the answer is because they're not really bike paths. Technically, they are multi-use trails. And on these trails, there, for sure are bikes there. They have a great kind of dotted line, kind of divide to encourage people to stay right. But these are multi-use paths. So there are lots of pedestrians, there's runners, there's families, there's little kids learning how to ride bikes, kind of swerving around. These paths also cross lots of driveways. And when they cross driveways, there are stop signs at which you're supposed to stop. You do not have the right of way to cross those driveways. And oftentimes these multi-use paths have a speed limit, which tends to be often around 15 miles per hour. So I don't use the multi-use path when I'm cycling around the lake because the type of cycling I'm engaged in at that time is not really appropriate for the path. Many times I might be going faster than 15 miles per hour. Oftentimes I might be tempted to not stop at these stop signs because if you're constantly passing these driveways, to start and stop would be annoying, I guess, to me, or not something I'd want to do. If you're crossing those driveways, I hope if you live where there is a multi-use path, that you've kind of accustomed yourself to looking right and left when you're pulling out because you know that there's a multi-use path there. But either way, to me, that also seems a little bit dangerous, again, especially if I'm already breaking rules, right? And maybe I'm going faster than the multi-use path permits, and maybe I'm blowing through stop signs, and maybe I'm upsetting the families that are with their children or people because I'm trying to blaze through this multi-use path. So that's why I was not on the bike path, because it wasn't a bike path. It was a multi-use path. And for the type of cycling that I was doing that day, I felt it was more appropriate to be in the other place that still cyclists are allowed to be, and that is riding in the roadway and following the rules relating to bicycles while cycling in the roadway. And I assume maybe that's why maybe other cyclists might choose to not use a multi-use path. So again, thinking about this gentleman yelling bike path, it kind of makes me think, well, in my town, we also have a pretty big rail trail project happening, and we need to educate people that just because there's an awesome multi-use path, which we should have and we should have lots of, just because there's a great multi-use path doesn't mean that cyclists are excluded from using the roadways as well. I could imagine when people are marketing these awesome projects, they're telling people, hey, you know, this is going to be a safe place for cyclists and things like that. And people are, maybe they're passing city measures and taxes that are supporting these issues, and non-cyclists are like, yeah, I'm supporting that issue. I'm supporting it because cyclists are driving me crazy, and that's, I want them on this path, right? And it is going to probably remove some cyclists from the roadways, but it doesn't exclude them from using the roadways. Again, in my opinion, I'm doing what's best for the type of activity I was engaged in. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, did I put too much thought into, again, just assuming the person was yelling bike path into this issue? I'm not sure. Do you, am I right? Am I wrong? Should I been in the multi-use trail? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know. Make a comment, and we could figure this out together. So this was episode 1 of Bike Vids. How many of you guys spend a lot of time watching bike vids? And now you're watching bike vids. And so thank you for watching. Leave a comment, especially a nice one. And peace. Is this on? Is this still on?